Hi, welcome back. It's Victoria with another practice of rest and relaxation. So, one of the things that I mentioned, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but if you do, you will have seen a recent video where I talk about different things that you can do as rituals, more sort of lifestyle rituals that might help with sleep. And one of the things that I mentioned was the exposure to hot water before you go to bed. Temperature is one of the things that indicates to the body that we're coming towards the end of the day. And by that I mean that the body tends to cool off at night. And that cooling off of the body's temperature is one of the things that helps signal to the body that it is time for sleep. And we can artificially create that temperature drop by using external factors that we have available to us, like hot water, to lift the body temperature. And by increasing the body temperature when we are in the hot water, when we come out of the hot water, the body's response to that is to regulate, to go back to its regular temperature, which if we've lifted it up above its regular temperature, it means that the temperature is dropping. So, one of my favorite ways of doing this, particularly these days since I've had a cold and a flu, is a bathtub. And one of the things that I do while I'm in the bathtub is the practice I'm going to share with you today. So you don't have to do this in a bathtub. You can just do this lying down. Excuse me, I'm going to do it propped up against a wall just so you can see what I'm doing. But if it is something that you can add to your hot bath, you will tell me the effect that it has on you. But it is definitely something that has a very sort of soothing, calming, restful effect on me, which is something that I can use at times, particularly if I'm having a bout of not sleeping well. This is something that I might add in a long bath as opposed to a shower with this particular practice. So what you're going to do is find, in your case, if you're doing it in the bathtub, then by all means, I'm just going to prop myself up against I'm just going to do this sitting up. But the idea is this: you're going to cross one leg over the other. In my case, I've crossed the right leg over the left. And I'm going to cross the opposite arm on top. So I cross the right leg over the left. So I stretch my right arm out and I cross the left arm on top. And then I'm going to try and interlace my fingers and then curl my hands to my chest, right? So I have my legs crossed and my arms crossed. Okay, so I'm going to unwind that. I'll explain it again in a second. What I'd like for you to do before we start is just do a check-in. So where are you right now in space? Are you sitting down? Are you standing up? What are you feeling in your body? What are you feeling from an energetic perspective? What are you feeling in terms of your breath? What are you feeling as a overarching mental state? And that might be measured by how quickly your thoughts are running in your mind. Okay. So then what you're going to do is we're going to do what I just showed you, right? I'm going to come slightly off to the side. It might be easier to see. I'm going to cross my right leg over my left. And then I'm going to cross my left arm over my right. I'm going to interlace my fingers and bring the arms in so that they're on my chest. And that is kind of it. Now I'm just going to sit here for a bit and breathe. And one of the things that I love to do when I'm in this position is as I breathe, I can kind of notice how the movement of the breath in my chest moves my arms, slightly changes the relationships of the shoulders or shoulder blades to my back. Maybe changes the feelings that I have in my arms. This can sometimes be a little bit funny for one of the hands. It can feel a little bit pulled. Excuse me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the hands where they are, but I'm going to change the legs. So I uncross the legs, and this time I cross the left leg over the right leg. And I just stick with it a little bit longer. Noticing my breath. Noticing how my body moves on the breath. Maybe allowing the tension in my jaw to release. And then I can unwind my hands and change the cross of my arms. So in my case, I'm bringing my right arm over my left, interlacing my fingers, and then rolling the hands back around. There's always one side that maybe feels a little bit easier or better than the other. Spend a couple more breaths here. Again, if you're doing this in the bathtub, maybe you're doing this with your eyes closed. I'm certainly partial to doing this with my eyes closed when I'm in the bathtub. And then finally, if you want, you can now cross the right leg over the left again. And again, I'm just sitting with it, maybe noticing each time I switch around an arm or a leg, if there's something that feels different. Maybe they're just very subtle changes. And then I can slowly begin to unwind everything. And that is it. And it seems deceivingly simple. But sit for a second, exactly like you did at the beginning, and just notice how things are feeling now. From a body perspective, from a breath perspective, from a mental state perspective, from an energy perspective. And again, I like to do this in the bathtub, but if you don't have a bathtub, then it might be something that you can do directly in bed. But there is something sort of very rebalancing to the body, to the nervous system, of these crossed over patterns, and hopefully they will have a benefit for you as well. See you again soon.